Satire. A way of criticising people or ideas in a humorous way, especially in order to make a political point. If we look at satirical movies over the decades, films like Naked Gun, In the Loop, and Borat might jump out as the most obvious choices for a rewatch. Personally, I love satire in TV shows when it's done correctly. Programs like The Thick of It, The Day to Day, and Brass Eye are all blackly comical takes on their respective subjects that dance the line of dangerous topics, biting personal indictments, and some of the funniest humour to reach the screen. One thing they all have in common? They were all co-created and written by this man, Chris Morris. But today I wanted to focus on his directorial debut, the 2010 dark comedy, 4 Lions. At first glance, the subject matter feels cursed as the film follows 4 British Muslim men who aspire to be suicide bombers. Not exactly an easy sell back in 2010. Shit, it's not exactly an easy sell now either. During the making of the film, Morris sent a version of the script to former Guantanamo detainee Moazzam Begg, who decided there was nothing in it that would be offensive to Muslims. And that dude's a former recruiter to Al-Qaeda. If anyone's gonna know if the Muslims are pissed off, it's fucking him. Anyway, the film follows Riz Ahmed as Omar, who seems to be the only competent terrorist out of the bunch. Kayvan Novak as Waj, the loyal but dim-witted cousin of Omar. Nigel Lindsay as Barry, a rash convert with an explosive temper. No pun intended. And Adil Akhtar as Faisal, the wholesome but misled member of the group who always seems to trust Barry despite Omar's best advice. 4 Lions chronologues the struggle of faith, friendship, and the pursuit of apparent meaning. And though it's hilarious, that doesn't mean it's a flippant movie. Morris marries the humour and ultimate heartbreak together so well that when the third act commences and the lads arrive in London to bomb the marathon, you feel an odd sense of dread approaching while you're sat there giggling your ass off. Even when Doctor Strange shows up, it's funny. It also features some of the wittiest lines of dialogue I've ever witnessed on screen.
Let's bomb Boots. They sell condoms that make you want to bang white girls.
Did you fix this then, baby?
Yes, I fixed it!
Did you?
The parts are Jewish. All right, I'm coming.
Oh, you want back your steptoe now, do you?
Listen, I am the most Al-Qaeda one here. Bollocks, I'm a liability. I am the invisible jihadi. They seek him here, they seek him there, but he's not there. He's blowing up your slag sister.
The humour creates a kind of warmth, which allows you to relate to the characters and to care more about what eventually happens to them. Personally, I think the humour actually adds to the sadness, rather than detracting from it. For all its jokes and biting statements though, 4 Lions isn't an inflammatory film. It's not seeking to attack any subset of peoples, despite it being about attacking subsets of people. It takes its subject matter seriously, mocking the extremist ideology, all while understanding the complexities of people and the range of reasons somebody would resort to terrorism. The zealot, the fame seeker, and the various degrees of stupidity and indoctrination. 4 Lions does it whilst being hilarious with some of the best wit and comic timing Chris Morris has ever produced. Riz Ahmed turns in a stellar performance as Omar, the leader of the group and the brains of the operation. He's also absolutely fantastic in The Sound of Metal, and if you haven't seen that film yet, holy fuck, go watch it. I wouldn't be surprised if dude won Best Actor for that performance. This movie definitely deserves more credit than it's received. Not only is it one of the best dark comedies out there with movies such as In Bruges or Burn After Reading, but it also shows that there's more layers to how people view Islam and choose to interpret it. Omar's brother on one side is a misogynist, but on the other, he's a very well-educated man and a pacifist. And while Omar himself is a perfectly normal guy who treats his wife as an equal, he unfortunately wants to combat injustices in the world by hurting innocent people, and worst of all, he manipulates his best friend into doing so. It handles the serious topics such as terrorism and Islam in a comedic, but also open-minded and insightful way, and in the end doesn't antagonize a group of people, but rather makes you as a viewer understand or even sympathize, especially with guys such as Waj or Faisal, who by the end of the film end up taking advantage of. I wholeheartedly recommend 4 Lions. You'll laugh, you'll cry, shit, in some moments you won't know how to feel if I'm being honest. But you'd be wiser for the experience. Topics like terrorism aren't easily explored in film, certainly not comedically. Yet Morris created a masterpiece that still stands up to this day. Maybe not to the woke crowds, but anyone with half a brain who understands satirical comedy will recognise that 4 Lions belongs on the shelf with some of the best satire films out there. And in an age when most mainstream comedies feel watered down and a movie made by committee in order to reach the widest audience, 4 Lions is the unique screaming voice in the centre of it all, daring you to laugh along with 4 hopeful but ultimately misguided British Muslims in their journey from hapless loners all the way to the
Marty's Suite VIP Lounge. You gonna kill us? Well, I might have some seconds, but I kind of am, yeah.